Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. This is a long-awaited video. I've been meaning to make this for a long time now, and I finally think that I'm not like ready, but qualified to do so. This is going to be my tattoo tour. This is going to be me showing off my incredible 4 tattoos. It's not very much. Does it warrant a tour? I think so, because I'm going to be talking an awful lot, but yeah. I don't have that many, but I will devote, a decent amount of time to each one because all of them are very important to me. I will start off by saying I got my first tattoo when I was 16, and I'm not one of those people who regrets their first tattoo. Like, honestly. I thought very carefully about the design. I had like multiple drafts that I drew up for each one, and I eventually just kind of landed on the one that felt right and felt like it didn't have an expiration date because some of the others may have. So I landed on this little guy. Astronaut on a swing, swinging from the moon, and I have a constellation in the background that is a shopping cart or a shopping trolley. Why did I include this instead of like something normal like the plow? It's because it's a reference to a song by Lil Peep called Star Shopping, and it's like a shopping cart made out of stars. I was 16, okay? And I still like it, I still do. I get loads of compliments on this tattoo. I swear to you, I think I've gotten more compliments on this tattoo than I have on any of my others. And it's the simplest one, and it's the only one that's like entirely my original design, so to speak. But yeah, people just love it. I mean, it's cute, right? It's cute, it's kind of like delicate, it's simple, but it's effective, and it's still unique. And I'm not the only person who's done something like this, but I did, on my phone, draw / like Photoshop this thing together, and I got it just slapped on. It was September 2018, so I was like just turned 16 over the summer when I got my first tattoo. So my second tattoo I got a year later in October 2019, so I was 17 at the time, and I got a tattoo in memory of my dog Shadow, who passed away when I was 13, so 2015. I always meant to memorialize her in some way because I never got her ashes or really anything to remember her by. The only thing that I have of her is her collar that she always wore, and that is precious to me. So I was like, I need to get something, I felt the need to because I loved her so much. I'll include a picture of her right here. She was beautiful. She was a wolf hybrid. Her great-grandfather was a pure wolf, and the rest of her parents and grandparents were German Shepherds. So she was never tested, I don't think, for what percentage she actually was, but she was part wolf, hence her features being the way that they are. She had the most beautiful eyes, and that was something I toyed around with the tattoo design, was whether I wanted to keep it black and white or whether I wanted to include color to like, bring out her eyes. I ended up deciding on this design. I wanted to have her looking peaceful, because I wanted to think that she was at peace. She had cancer. She, out of nowhere, developed a very bad tumor kind of under her front leg, and it unfortunately spread before it was gotten to, and by the time that the tumor was removed, she just gave up. So we lost her. It was heartbreaking. I still miss her. She was beautiful, and I wanted to carry her with me always. So she sits right here. I have my baby always with me, all the time, close to my heart. I always wanted a tattoo here in this area, and when I thought about what was important enough for me to take up that space. It's like when you get a sternum tattoo, it's one and done pretty much. I was like, okay, I know I want a tattoo there, but what is important enough to me to take up that space like once and for all? And Shadow was that thing. She was important enough, and she still is. So tattoo number three, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. I said that all of my tattoos are very important and have like a special meaning. This one, not really. I like the meaning behind it, and I like the placement and the design and everything, but it doesn't have a special meaning. Like it wasn't intended to be anything. My tattoo artist who's done most of my tattoos, Emma, she came up with this design. She just put it up on her Instagram and was like saying that it was available, and I saw it, and I don't know what it was, but I was like, I need that. I love it, I need it. I was going through a phase of being obsessed with red, and I guess like red, black, blue, kind of, how do I put it? Anatomical type stuff, dare I say gory, bloody. I was in a questionable headspace at the time, okay? But when I saw this, I was like, it's so raw and real, and it combines two things that I love of like symbolism and art and, you know, kind of biology and nature, and it was this perfect like push and pull between. It looks really nice, but it also has this meaning behind it. So I'll stop talking about it. This is the tattoo. It's on my thigh. I always wanted a thigh tattoo, and it's a big commitment because you have like the front, the back, the side of your thighs, but in terms of what to slap like right on the front, like front and center, like you wear shorts, you wear a skirt, a dress, it's there. It's a commitment. But again, I just thought this was worth it. I love the design so much, and that's what I landed on. I immediately was like, oh my god, I want this. I messaged her and I was like, can I get this design if it's still available? And she's like, yes, oh my god. And I'm like, let's do it. So I did. It took 8 hours. More, I think 8.5 hours of absolute agony. Please do not listen to anyone who tells you that tattoos do not hurt. Listen, when I got this tattoo, I was like, oh my god, everyone was so right, like, tattoos don't hurt at all. Bitch, when I got this tattoo done, I say this very often, but I'm not kidding. When you get your sternum tattooed, for me, it felt like I was being autopsied. Alive. It felt like I was being cut down the middle. Awful. Awful. But so worth it, I must say. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from getting a tattoo or getting a tattoo here in particular, but fuck me. It hurt. It really hurt. Lots of fist clenching. Lots of teeth gritting. Lots of yelling. And you'll get through it, don't worry. I've never used numbing cream for any of my tattoos, by the way. I'm thinking about it for the next one to try it, but I've heard that it can mess up with healing and with the way the ink settles. I'm kind of nervous about that, so yeah. But I know there are great ones out there. I would love to try one for the next one because fuck, every time I get a tattoo, it almost feels worse. Like every time I sit down in that chair and the needle starts going, I question, like, why am I doing this to myself? And then after a while, you know, the tattoo heals and I'm like, that's why. Because it looks cool, you know? So that's my third one. Again, here's another picture. And yeah, you can see it's this like, you have an anatomically correct heart, you have bees and honey, and can you guess what it means? Sweetheart. It means sweetheart. I didn't get that immediately. I saw the design and I was like, it looks so like bloody and gory, and like I love the honey drips and the bees and everything, but it took me a second. I was like, wait, sweetheart. And I'm like, is it not very, I don't know how to put it. I really liked the idea of getting that piece in particular on my thigh. I was like, is it not kind of sensual? Is it not kind of like very symbolic? You get me, girls, you get me. So that's why I wanted that. It looks cool, but it's also like, I'm a sweetheart. I'm so sweet. I'm sweet like honey, you know? Sometimes. So, tattoo number 4 is my baby Sylvie. I talked about Sylvie in my second video. If you haven't seen it, you can go watch. I introduce all of my cats, including our kitten Mion, and Theo and Damie, our older cats. And I talk a little bit about Sylvie, who this tattoo is dedicated to. So you can see I got strawberry plants. I got these blue butterflies here. This is based off the picture of Sylvie where she's just sitting on my bed in my old apartment, and she was like, as if she was looking at something. And I had this idea in my head already of sort of what I wanted to do with that photo. I knew that that was the photo, if I ever got a tattoo, that was the one that I wanted, like 100%. It's my favorite picture of her. This one right here. And I was talking to my friend Beck. Shout out to Beck, I love you. I can't remember how it came up, but she ended up drawing me a picture of Sylvie. I sort of gave her some pointers for, you know, what makes me think of her and what colors and whatever else, and then I just let her run with it. She sent me back the cutest drawing. I'll show it here. Beck, I hope you don't mind. I just thought it was so adorable. I literally cried. It's so sweet because, you know, Sylvie was such a sweet cat, and this whole idea of her just like wrapped up in a blanket looking at butterflies, I was like, are you kidding me? I have to use that somehow. So again, I reached out to Emma and I said, you know, that I wanted to get a tattoo in memory of my cat Sylvie. I sent her the reference photo. I said I want her to be in a bed of strawberry plants. And that came from, I'm sure you've all seen, or maybe you haven't, you need to see this. Cats with strawberry hats. Cats with strawberry hats. I was going to get Sylvie tattooed on me wearing a strawberry hat. I drew up the design and sort of played around with it, like literally like superimpose a strawberry hat on her head, and I was like, it's a little silly, and I didn't want to make it silly. I wanted to make it pretty and actually do her justice. So I was like, maybe I won't do that. But Beck is an artist and a very good friend of mine. Her whole thing is drawing cats and somehow incorporating strawberries. That's her thing, or at least it was. It has evolved and it's amazing, but at first it was just this cat, whose name is Francois, by the way, with strawberries. His whole thing was strawberries. And around the time that I was considering this idea of what I wanted to do for Sylvie's tattoo, I thought, strawberry cat. Like, not a strawberry hat, but a strawberry cat. I can incorporate that somehow. So I approached Emma, I gave her the reference photo, and I said, I want Sylvie in a bed of strawberry plants, and I want her to be like gazing at butterflies. And then we figured out, you know, what color the butterflies would be in. We said, well, blue is a complementary color for red, so they would like work well together, and we decided on blue butterflies. So there you go. I think in total it took 5 or 6 hours. God, I was in agony. I love color tattoos, but the going over and over and over and over in like the layers of shading and color and everything, it's beautiful, but it hurts like fuck. Oh my god. But yeah, I won't complain. My tattoos are beautiful. My artist is so incredibly talented, and I will absolutely be getting more in the future whenever I can afford it. I don't necessarily want to be covered in tattoos. I like the idea of building them up. I think people overthink tattoos a lot, which is totally understandable, and you should think about them very, very hard before you get one. But not everything has to be relevant to you at every given time, you know? When you're thinking about getting a tattoo, it's sort of this idea of, oh, I don't want to hate this in a few years, like I need it to be relevant indefinitely. It's not always going to be. This guy, I forget he's here sometimes. I look and I'm like, huh, yeah, I have an astronaut on me. Why? I've always been obsessed with space. I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid. My mom would always tell me that whenever we had enough money, that she was going to get me into the NASA astronaut training school, the training academy. And that was like my dream for a couple of years. That kind of faded over time, but my love of space and my love of the idea of going up into the stars never left me. So in that sense it's still relevant, but in another sense it's like, you know, maybe if I had the choice I would get something else here, you know? If you think about it, this tattoo is incredibly simple, the rest of them are incredibly detailed. It's kind of, it doesn't really match, but it doesn't have to, because I can build upon this and I can make it more cohesive and make it more relevant to me now. It doesn't have to be relevant to me all the time. So there you go. That's me talking about my tattoos. I don't know, I really want to expand. I'm always looking at tattoo posts on Instagram, looking for inspiration. There's so many that I've come across where I'm like, if I am ever in that country, I want to get tattooed by this person. There's so many. So I think I'm going to end up with a lot of different styles, and I love the idea of that, you know, because I have a lot of different styles. I'm a very diverse person in terms of the things that I like, the things that I appreciate, the aesthetics that I like to go for. I like a bit of everything. So I think having different styles and different subject matter on me in terms of tattoos is very fitting for me. Other people, they like to stay within the same kind of categories. Me, I like to just go with the flow, you know? Whatever. Whatever works, you know? So that was my tattoo tour. I hope you enjoyed. I have been astounded by the amount of people who have been showing up for me and continuing to watch my videos as they go up ever so slowly. I'm very grateful. I am very grateful. Thank you. Thank you to all of my amazing friends who are so supportive of me. You guys are the fucking best. I've been told by so many people, like, oh, you should make a YouTube, you should put yourself out there, you should do modeling, you should do like content creation, you should do this, that, and the other. And when you have all this external stuff coming at you, it's like, I really should. Why am I not doing that? It can put you down a rabbit hole of being like, oh, I have so much potential, but I'm not doing anything with it. And I got tired of that feeling. So all that potential, all that support, all that encouragement, I am channeling it into this as much as I can. And big things are gonna happen. I big love. I have big love for you. Seriously. It's amazing. It's so motivating, it's so encouraging, it's such a nice feeling to know that like people have my back and I have my friends' support, you know? I'm incredibly lucky for that. I'm very tempted to feel alone sometimes, or feel like I'm kind of trapped in my own mind and like I can't share stuff with people, or like I can't relate to other people as much as I'd like to. But knowing that I have all of these people around me cheering me on is just, it's wonderful. It is truly wonderful, so thank you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you learned a little bit more about me, and maybe took some inspiration or something. Stick around if you feel like it. No pressure, but do stick around if you feel like it, because there's a lot more stuff coming. Look after yourself, and I will see you very soon. Bye!